Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Moran and I'm here with Riv and Andrew Velez, and this is now episode 98. Today is a very special show. We are joined by Chilltown32, but some of you may know him as OG on TikTok, and we're glad to have him on. He's amassed over 200,000 followers on TikTok in a short amount of time, which is why in this episode we will talk about how we got started on TikTok, and we'll also go over the NBA Finals, give our predictions, give our take on the best team to never win a championship, debating how big a factor playoff performance should play when determining the overall value of a player, Kobe versus Tim Duncan all time, and more. So this is now episode 98. If you guys are listening, you guys can rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts. And now, on to you, OG. Thank you for being on the show.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Let's do it.
So the first question I want to ask, we were talking for about 20 minutes before Riv over here came because he got stuck in the flooding that's going on in Jersey, is how did you first get started on TikTok? Because you came out of nowhere, and just to let you know, I first saw your video when you had about like 24,000 followers. I followed you and I'm like, wow. I look up like 2 days later and you're like at 100,000. I mean, how did that feel once you got that far?
Well, it's interesting, man, because I got involved with this TikTok thing. My best friend, Roderick, he was visiting his kids and he comes back and tells me about it. And I'm thinking TikTok, because I don't do social media very much, but he was like, yo, you need to go check this out. This is a big deal. My kids got me on it and I'm hooked. Well, I get on it and I start watching things. And then I find the basketball community. And there's this guy that was on there. I haven't seen him in quite a while. Boom, I think his name is.
The MJ guy versus LeBron guy, yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Well, he had a take where he talked about Michael Jordan had help in the 80s when he had Orlando Woolridge. And I'm thinking, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I was around during that time. So hang on for a second. No, he did not. And I went off on what Jordan had. You know, they were 18 games under 500 when Jordan sat out most of that season. They're Oklahoma City today. That's who they would be. And he was talking about them. And then it just materialized from that, where I would get questions, yo, who do you think, what do you think of this guy? And what do you think of that guy? And then I started answering questions. And the next thing I know, I'm on TikTok and I got a following, and it just mushroomed from there.
You know what's so interesting about your journey is that so many people that are on TikTok right now follow pages that promote growth tips, and their pages are literally made out to show other people how to grow on TikTok. And you grew in the most unconventional way. No hashtags, just responding to comments. And it was so organic, no growth tips. And to me, I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's so awesome. It really is awesome.
Well, when you think about how you get to know people, how do you get to know people? You get to know people by talking to people.
No doubt.
And then they start talking to other people about you. And again, I'm not a marketing expert. I'm not on that page, but that's just the way I thought to talk to people. I didn't think that this was going to turn into something big. It was just me, just like you guys, talking basketball. And then the next thing I know, this is turned into something huge.
Yeah, exactly. And how was the learning curve trying to learn how to post on the app?
Oh man, again, I am more of an OG. So it was and I'm still learning as I go. So, I had to figure out how to stitch. I had to figure out how to duet, and I had to figure out all of these things as I was going. And my niece, she calls me and she's like, "Uncle Joe, what are you doing with this?" I'm like, "Listen, I don't know what I'm doing here. So can you show me how to do this right here? Can you show me how this works?" And she's 11, so she's like, "You do this and you do that." Next thing I know, I'm stitching and I'm duetting, and I'm still learning as I go, but it's been great.
Just to let you know, the way to get people to be able to stitch your videos, before you go and post your video, there's going to be an option that says allow stitch on yours. Since, I've been on your page, you can't, stitch your videos. That is like gray. You just press that button and then it turns green. That's how you allow people to stitch your video.
Ah.
I know that you've been like trying to learn how to do that. So yeah, that's how you do it.
Been.
Yes.
Now I know. Okay, we're in business.
So you used to play basketball too, and just for the people out there, your name is Jermaine Womack, because I actually listened to you as a guest on another podcast, and that's how I found that out. And you used to play basketball. You played high school, you played in college, and you played in overseas in Ireland. So tell me about your playing days.
Well, I'm born and raised in Jersey City, so I'm from Jersey. I went to St. Anthony High School.
Oh, that's a basketball school too, traditionally.
I went to St. Anthony High School. My senior year, we finished number 2 in the country. Yeah, we finished number 2 in the country. From there, I went on and played junior college basketball up in Vermont at a place called Champlain College. I played 2 years there. We finished number 8 in the country in the 2 years that I was there. We lost to go to the Final Four. I did well up there, and then from there I went on and played 2 years at Utah State. We ended up winning the regular season championship my junior year in '95, and then from there I played in Ireland. I played a little bit in Belgium, and I played in Greece.
What was your position?
Played 2 guard.
Okay.
Yep.
And how tall are you? 6'4", 6'5"?
Flat foot, 6'3", with shoes on, about 6'4.25".
For those that are out there, a NBA player right now went to St. Anthony's, Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. He went there as well. He was really good. He was one of the top recruits.
Was your coach Hurley at the time, or he wasn't there yet?
That was him. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Coach Hurley.
Wow,
my senior year, I was on the team. My senior year, I was with the UConn head basketball coach, Danny Hurley. We were on the team.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
And that's a long way. And Hurley just retired, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think because the school closed down, if I'm not mistaken.
The school did close down?
I think so,
It
yeah.
did.
Wow, that's
my,
crazy.
My brother was going there.
Okay, sweet.
No, not for like basketball.
Oh, okay. Just going there just because?
Academics.
All right, sweet. Hey, that's just as good.
And who are your favorite NFL and NBA teams?
I believe 49 Red.
That's
And
tough.
I don't have an NBA team particularly because these guys move around so much.
I
But
respect
when
that.
I was a kid, I was a big-time Philadelphia 76er fan because they had Doc and they had Moses. So I was a big Philly fan. And then, like I said, the guys started moving around and I couldn't really pick a team. But I was a huge Knicks. My uncle turned me on to the New York Knicks as I got older, but I haven't been to a Knicks game. This is actually interesting. I'm in the 7th grade, and my uncle comes to get me, takes me to a preseason game. New York Knicks just got Patrick Ewing. So I'm super excited going to watch Ewing. They play against the Indiana Pacers. Ewing gets in a fight and gets thrown out of the game.
No way.
I haven't been to a Knicks game since.
You were always scared you weren't going to be able to see the star player.
I haven't been to a Knicks game since.
That's crazy. So who's your favorite players in the NBA right now? If you can't pick a team.
I'm a huge James fan.
James, LeBron James or James
Yes.
Harden?
The real King
I
James.
was so confused.
The real King James.
You know what,
I got
man?
you, OG.
I get so confused sometimes because I keep forgetting that he's LeBron. That's what I keep calling him James because that's his last name.
James is James Harden.
Right. And James is James Harden. Right.
That is
So
cat.
LeBron,
No, it is.
Cat.
It is.
No, it's not. Come on.
So LeBron's my guy. LeBron's my favorite, but I'm a huge Leonard fan. Kawhi fan.
Cool.
I dig what Luka's doing. Tatum, I dig him.
Definitely.
What's
your opinion on Giannis?
Embiid. I dig Embiid. He's awesome. Giannis is also awesome. I dig him.
He looks like an Embiid guy.
Dame is one of my favorites in terms of backcourt players. And Irv.
Haven't heard
Definitely.
Steph yet, OG.
He said Irv.
I was getting to that.
Okay.
I was getting to
Okay.
it.
On our last podcast, we had this debate about Giannis and how much his legacy would get a boost if he were to win a championship along with Finals MVP. But we had trouble trying to think about what position do we list him at. Is it small forward? Is it power forward? Is it center? We landed on power forward. Would you agree with that position for him?
Yeah, I think he's an upgraded version of the power forward because of his ability to defend and his ability to rebound and his ability to do the dirty work. Because a lot of 3 men don't do that. That is the primary role of the power forward, and Giannis does that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the way he gets up and down the floor and the way he handles the basketball, particularly in transition, doesn't make him look like the traditional 4-man.
Yep.
But I would rate him as a power forward. Absolutely.